Hey, happy Monday, everyone. I am Rita Ernst. I am the author of Show Up Positive. Oh, there it is, Show Up Positive. And I'm so happy to be with you for another Monday. I am recording this live. I'm sorry, I am unable to go live at my normal time today, but I didn't want to miss this. So, this is the first airing of this Show Up Positive. And today we are digging back into the card deck and I've pulled a card, flexibility. And this card is really speaking to me right now because a client of mine is going through a very significant change event. And change is something that happens to us all the time. Change is always topsy turvy. It is always messy in the middle. And this show up positive spark goes out to every one of you who are in the middle of a messy change right now. The word is flexibility. And I want you to think about this. There's a reason that when they build skyscrapers, they are designed to sway at the top a little bit, right? There has to be a certain amount of movement so that in high winds, things don't snap and break. And as human beings, we're the same way. We can't get so locked in and so rigid in our thinking because when we do that, we really bring ourselves to the point where we can fundamentally break and work is no longer fun. We no longer want to be there. We find ourselves now having to find another job and trying to match our pay and our benefits and all the stress of that. And who needs more stress in their lives? So, a really great skill for us to cultivate is the skill of flexibility. And that's why it is one of my accelerator cards because accelerator cards right now, this deck is for teams and meetings, and flexibility is where it's at. So, a couple things to know about flexibility. One, the meta message. I'm open to change. So when you use this card and when you practice these behaviors, you're really working on your openness and making sure that you're showing up and communicating that openness to others. Another couple things available on the card just to help you out. Here are a couple of synonyms for flexibility: adaptive and responsive. So we are able to adapt and change things, and we are also responsive to the environment around us. We are not made of steel. We do not have to be so locked into our way of thinking. So flexibility. Let's start with the mindset side of card. That's the little thinking guys. Here are some questions to ask yourself to really do your mental check of, am I really being open to change here? Am I staying in this open place, and what else could help me be more open and flexible in this moment? So questions. What do I fear? At the heart of all change, there is fear and anxiety. It's something unknown, it's something uncomfortable. We're out of our comfort zone. So, what is that fear about? What am I really fearing? A great question to ask is, what's the worst thing that could happen in this situation? What compromise am I willing to make? In change, in being flexible means that we're not always going to get things exactly the way that we want them, that we're willing to be collaborators and co-creators, and that means there's give and take, and we are willing to consider what other people's experiences are, what their needs are, and to adapt and be responsive to that. What learning or insight do I seek? Ooh, that's a good one, right? I'm in the middle of this change. I'm feeling really uncomfortable. What learning or insight right now so that I can find my center of gravity again? And lastly, why am I certain I'm right? When you really feel yourself digging in, why am I so certain I'm right? What makes me so certain about my rightness in this situation? And if I am so right, what's the worst thing that happens if I set that aside for a moment and then just listen openly to the other people and what they're thinking, and knowing that my rightness is right here? I can tap back into that whenever I'm ready. But for now, let me just understand where other people are so that I can find a bridge to connect them to this solution, idea, whatever it is that I have that I feel so securely right about. So if you feel true to your rightness, stand strong in that by then being open to hear others. Okay, other side of the card is your engager. So when you're talking with other people, how can you communicate and invite more openness into that conversation? Here are 4 prompt questions that might help you. How can we adapt? So, if I were in a conversation with somebody, I would say, well, it's clear, for example, I'm thinking about my clients right now. It's clear that you have one way of doing this process and we have another way of doing this process. We need to come up with a new way of doing that. How can we each adapt our way of thinking and doing, and so that we create a way that we can both agree to? What other options should we consider? I hear that you're really comfortable with that way of doing things. Let's put that on the wall, and then let's just take a few minutes and talk about what are other ways that we might want to consider doing that, knowing that we can always come back to that option. Next, what is the best that could happen if we changed, if we found a way to collaborate differently together? What's the best thing that could come out of that? It's a good conversation to have. And last, what challenges do we anticipate? So the other side of that coin is, and if we do that, what are the challenges going to be? And then there's a wonderful conversation that you can have about, are those challenges that we can navigate together successfully, or are those challenges really set us back? And that can inform how much risk, or what level of change that we're interested in pursuing. So the card and the skill and the show up positive for this week is flexibility. How can you learn to bend so that things don't break? And how can you invite others and communicate to them, I'm open to change. I'm open to hearing you. I'm willing to compromise and be flexible. And I'm inviting you to meet me in the middle and do the same. How can we bring more flexibility to ourselves and to the others around us? So that's our challenge for this week. You see the horse behind me. It's all Derby time here in Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm doing this recording from a different location. Excited to be celebrating Derby. Hope this gets you in the Derby spirit. Derby Diversity Week is coming up. There is a summit here in Louisville. Head over to my page or search Derby Diversity Week on LinkedIn and or on Facebook or Instagram. I think you can find details. It's a wonderful conference. I highly recommend it to you. And just a reminder on the ticker, Show Up Positive, I launched the audiobook a couple of months ago. It is out there and available to those of you who like to have something to listen to while you are driving or working out or doing your hair, or doing cooking chores. The great thing about Show Up Positive is you don't need to listen to it from start to finish. You can make a commitment to yourself that you're just going to listen 10 minutes a day. And I guarantee you, you can jump in anywhere in the book and listen for 10 minutes, and something valuable will emerge for you if you are open to hearing that. And so this is a book that you might really enjoy having on audiobook, because you can go back into it over and over and over again. So I invite you, you can get that on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Libra FM for those of you that do independent bookstores. There's several different places. If you need help finding it, you can always hit me up and let me know. I'm Rita Ernst. I'm the author of Show Up Positive. I'm so excited for another week, and we're going to work on our flexibility. Let's bend, not break this week. And I'll see you back here next Monday at 11:45 Eastern Time. Have a great week.